This college football picks week 10 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey folks, this is Bud Foster. You're listening to SGPN. Let's let it ride. Go Hokies, man.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Cram?
Dog.
Hello, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Me too.
Shout out to the
Me
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, wow.
Cash in. Well, I got my 3-leg tease in, Ryan. I'm on a teaser heater in the NFL Pick Show.
Right there.
And you were before the show discussing the state of the New York Giants. You care to chime in? Coach of the Year Brian Daboll, questionable play calling.
Is that what you saw? A quarterback once again not pulling the trigger.
The 2-point play was
2-point play comically bad. Why are you wasting time practicing that? But clearly in the replay, Singletary not paying attention. Like, what are you doing? Some pretty bad refereeing. I'm not sure if it made a difference. Probably made a difference. Punt return, one of the few touchdowns in the game. Russ and the Steelers look okay, except for when he starts to scramble. That looks very bad.
Man, Darnell Washington almost broke one for that first touchdown.
Giants win the game with Jameis Winston. Giants win the game with Danny DeVito. Giants win the game with Tommy DeVito.
Why don't they play Tommy DeVito if they would win with him?
I don't understand. How many sacks did Daniel Jones create for himself? Just moving up in the pocket too aggressively. I don't understand. For as bad as the line played, he still made it worse. Again, out 100%. Tyrone Tracy, very good.
Yeah, I see Steffi Smalls checking in saying Calvin anytime touchdown was cool. Yeah, I was pissed. Calvin Austin was close to being my first touchdown.
I mean, am I
Didn't
crazy?
Pull the trigger.
How did they not call a penalty on that play? I mean, again, I'm not belly aching like the Giants should have won the game, but that clearly was a massive difference in the game.
Yeah, I think what happened was
they didn't call the 5-yarder or the 15-yarder.
Yeah, they probably thought there was contact with the guy trying to block the punt. That's why they didn't throw it.
And then not to call the block in the back on the first block, the one that always gets the block. I don't understand. You were those, and then to go to that random review to see if his knee came down before his.
No, they got it right though.
Okay. You can't even keep a straight face.
No, I don't think I don't think the refs were great, but also the Giants played pretty sloppily and created a bunch of penalties.
And yet if that punt return gets overturned as it should have, we're talking about a game that's probably still going on. Maybe we'll see. That you don't.
No.
That touchdown. I mean, that was the first touch. I mean, it was clearly impactful to the game.
Daniel Jones was never going to win that game. They might have.
No, but you're insane to say that wasn't an impactful call in the game. You're just trolling.
Not calling that could have impacted the game. Sure, I don't think it would have. I think the outcome would have been the same. The way Daniel Jones finished the game with the strip sack and the fumble, I think
you can zoom ahead, but that sparked the team that scored their first touchdown of the game. Just seemed like a pretty bad call. Even the TV ref agreed. It's a pretty bad call.
Well, there you go.
Pretty bad call.
So TV ref, should we get a TV refs are cool T-shirt?
No, but I'm shocked at your level of attempted trolling right now.
What do you mean? The Giants didn't play well. They didn't deserve to win the game.
No, I started with that, and then I said, but those were some really bad non-calls.
Yeah, I could see how
game-changing non-calls.
Yeah, they call running into the kicker there a lot.
They call running into the kicker there all the time. They call roughing the kicker sometimes. It was the plant leg. Again, maybe didn't impact the game. Probably impacted the game. Still, in spite of a horrendous quarterback play
and bad coaching.
Horrendous quarterback play.
Bad coaching. I think they're a poorly coached team.
Okay.
That's not me trying to troll you. I'm being honest.
Yeah, but in this, the coaching did not lose them the game. That's a fact.
Okay. Yeah.
The quarterback play lost them the game. Go to your chat. Go to your precious chat. What are they saying?
Steffi Smalls is saying refs are terrorists.
Okay. Confirmed.
Quit crying, Kramer. The Giants are trash. My boy TJ Watt, defensive player of the year, future looking sharp.
I'm absolutely not crying.
The O line lost the game
Just
too.
Calling Sean out for his trolling.
How am I trolling you?
Hey, you were trolling. That's all. Full transparency.
All right, let's bring Colby on.
No, you did that to yourself.
What did I do to myself?
You brought it up.
Oh, we shouldn't have brought the Giants game up.
You brought it up and then you trolled.
How'd I troll?
By acting like the call didn't have an impact in the game.
Okay.
Did have an impact in the game. What? You're just going to be silent?
No. What do you want me to do?
Oh, move on with the show. I'm giving you a transition to move on, but you can sip your coffee over
No,
there.
I thought you had more. I thought you wanted to talk about the Giants. I thought you wanted to vent.
No, there's nothing to vent. I attempted to vent, and then you brought it back to no. Those were good calls.
I didn't say that. You asked how did they not call it, and I said
you agreed with the calls.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I didn't agree.
Did.
I said they probably thought there was contact.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants played poorly. All right, let's talk college football. Joining us on the line to talk all things college football, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
All rise. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was the Joe Judge.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's Joe Judge. He's in the college ranks these days, apparently.
He's an analytics expert for Ole Miss. Shows you how classy and intelligent that level of the sport's operating at.
So I'm in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm wearing my Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt today, and an older couple did not want to get on the elevator with us because of my shirt. I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
they looked at my shirt. They looked
old people.
They looked at my shirt, and the elevator like pinged at the same time. And then he just kind of held his wife back or his date back, as he's probably in the 60s or 70s.
He was a ref, secret ref,
potentially. And yeah,
sure
so
you were in Pittsburgh.
No, but I went out. I got a McNeese Cowboys t-shirt here. Strong ass offer for you guys to get on this McNeese Cowboys. We got college basketball. Will Wade's got this team looking great. He was on the college basketball experience. I think we should buy a future already on these Cowboys over there.
Yeah, we're gonna work out a bonus college basketball picks episode. Of course, subscribe to the college basketball experience. That's coming. Season's tipping off. When's the official tip off, Colby?
That'll be Monday or in the morning. Oh, especially for you guys, it'll be early in the morning. I did get a lot of DMs thinking that I potentially have quit SGPN.
No,
I told them I was.
This Colby's already flexing East Coast time.
I told them
your time.
I told them that I was
out there.
I told them I was leaning on staying with SGPN. So there we go.
We do get reports weekly.
Yes. Colby, the lean police have done a good job of cleaning up Colby's show. So hashtag clean the leans. Yeah. I feel like we've gotten a number of instances. We've hit him with some leaning tower pieces, and it
hasn't stopped the behavior.
No, there's probably still some, at least he Benedicts. I had to explain to my wife what it means when Colby Benedicts a pick.
You're welcome, Colby. I nailed that one last week.
Yes, you did. You did in mid pick Benedict Navy to correctly get you on the Notre Dame side there, laying the 12.5.
Saved him the embarrassment of taking Navy.
Vandy almost beat Texas. That was a fun sweat. We did all right as a show. Nothing too crazy. Our consensus percentage is still sitting at 55%. My lock percentage has been a highlight for me, 59%. I started out a nice tease run. That's cooled off. Kramer, you had a nice tease run. That's kind of hit a wall right now, but you were 9-5 on the week. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row where I've gotten 7 picks correct. Wow. I've been doing good at my locks for the most part, but need to really have like a breakout week where I can really destroy the slate. Colby coming in at 8-6 last week. No locks though. Rare double whiff on your locks. Colby, do you care to explain yourself?
Illinois pick was bad. I did not see that coming. Like I felt pretty damn good about that. If anything, I thought the line was just absurd. So I was in hindsight, I guess, when it's an absurd line like that, maybe you just back off a little bit because they clearly know something you don't know.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Oregon did kick their ass, but that being said, they were still like a garbage touchdown or away from.
We just have to accept that Oregon is going to beat the shit out of teams at home.
No, I think I've accepted that now. I was in denial for a while that Oregon. I swear they're not good, but obviously they are good. I mean, they beat Ohio State, they destroyed Illinois, they destroyed Purdue in an obvious letdown spot. So all these times where I want to call them out as frauds, they've completely destroyed teams. So I think I just have to eat an L here on Oregon. But Colby, are you impressed with Oregon right now?
At home, I want to see them on the road. Just because you went to Purdue and won 35-0. Well, I mean, a lot of teams have beat the shit out of Purdue and would have beaten, had they played. But
it's true.
Kyle Honda McCord let us down. He looked like the Honda McCord.
Oh my God. I mean, you could have had an actual Honda McCord trying to throw the football there. 5 interceptions, 3 for defensive touchdowns
in the first half. In the first half.
Yeah. I mean, I was mostly locked into Thursday night NFL, but I had the Syracuse game on and I was like, wait, what happened? Like it was just over before it even started. And as crazy as it sounds, a couple of those interceptions were bad breaks, but when you throw 5 interceptions,
he was
clearly,
broken.
Yeah. I mean, he was rattled but
he took himself down. I mean, he had a plethora of bad highlights. You could probably make half of his negative highlight reel in that game.
That being said, awesome bounce back opportunity for Syracuse as a home dog against Virginia Tech.
He looks broken.
Yeah. No, he looked broken in that game. Pittsburgh's a tough place to go in and play. And we'll see about Pittsburgh. They're going to Dallas to face off SMU. That's an interesting spot for them in a weird spot, like a potential letdown for them, but then who is SMU to be laying a bunch of points?
And shout out to the ACC doing a great job covering their top 25 matchup by putting it on ACC Network Plus. Great work, great job by the conference. God forbid you actually have 2 ranked teams play each other in this league, and then you put it on that network. Glad to see you're trying to stay on par with the SEC and Big Ten. Good work.
Well, if you do that, you get people to have to subscribe to your ACC Super Duper Plus network. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you're going to let the TV executives bend you over and just enter, like why not? Why is it still hard to get all the games?
Best game of the week, best game within the conference for the entire week. And you got this is like you need to call Larry Scott to view it. You know what I mean?
It's easier to steal the games.
Yeah.
It's honestly easier to just steal the games. Just go on Reddit.
Hashtag just steal.
Just find the games. I mean,
hashtag liberate college football.
Yeah, it should be.
It is insane.
The amount of money they're getting.
And for all the like combining of conferences and the alliance pitch and all these like different things. Why do they not have a college football Sunday ticket type thing where, hey, you sign up for $200 a year, you get every single game. Hey, I'll give you my money. Let me quad box. Let me customize it. We have streaming. We have the technology. How have they not figured that out yet?
So you expect the CW, the ESPN, Fox, all the
all the conferences to come together.
They would make more money.
Now, here's my thing. I almost don't like. I in theory, I'm with Sean, but I almost feel like ESPN Plus covers like 75% of them. And it's like,
Yeah.
you get that for free. So it's like, I'd rather just get that with 75% for free but I do understand that, like, if it's gotta be so frustrating if you're a Pitt fan and you're at a bar and it's like the bar can't find the fucking game on, you know what I mean? Like I'll tell you, I was in Texas the other night, and the Texas Vanderbilt game was hard to get at the bar I was at, believe it or not.
In Austin.
Yes. And
So dumb.
yeah, because it was on SEC Network. They didn't have the SEC Network as that's like a plus on the package. And remember, they were in the Big 12 last year, so they didn't have the SEC Network. This probably would have been figured out like a while ago had they been in the SEC before. But
the rest of the country is about to find out what we've been living with the Pac-12 network.
Oh yeah.
Once you get these TV networks going on, your games become impossible to find. It's an unreal situation. It does seem like they are. At some point, the fan is going to realize that all the money that is being paid from the TV networks to the teams is really just coming by way of advertising to the fan, and there's going to be this giant revolt because you're making it too complicated.
Yes,
we're super close to this. I mean, imagine they put the college football playoff on like Peacock streaming only. Some Alabama fans gotta fucking
guys,
figure out how to get rid of fucking Peacock.
Can we talk about how bad
they poisoned a tree? I mean, they'll poison NBC.
NBC is giving us the poison tree because NBC's coverage of college football / Peacock.
Oh no.
Is by far the worst product I have seen ever in college football. Like I've seen Jefferson Pilot Sports doing college football. I've seen, Fox Sports Southwest. The NBC production is so bad. It's almost like it's like an SNL bit. I feel like when you're watching it, you're like, is this real or is this an SNL bit where Will Ferrell's going to pop out and just start going at it? But
Jack Collinsworth is a SNL character. That's a good call out.
Yeah, it's just a horrible production over there. They got to fix that.
Kramer, let's get to the games. Got a bunch. Got some early midweek action. We're taping this Monday night, so we got some early midweek stuff going on.
Well, hopefully Colby got the date and times right. This can't be right. College football on a Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Texas, where Texas State takes on Louisiana. Texas State laying 4 here. Little bit of this is a hell of a road trip. -185 on the money line, +155 for Louisiana. 58.5 is the total. Colby, you're driving through the neighborhood. Did you swing by, say what's up to the old San Marcos community?
I did go through San Marcos, but even better was I was at Cajun Field today.
Oh wow,
Cajun Field, the home of the Louisiana Lafayette. Raging Cajuns there. But look, this is a huge game in the Sun Belt because the Sun Belt's the only conference that still has divisions. And this game, probably the two best teams. Yeah, probably the two best teams in the West. I know right now you could sit there. There's a couple teams flirting with that as well, like South Alabama and Arkansas State and ULM. But I believe these are the two best teams in the Sun Belt West. That's why I put it on the sheet, and it's also a Tuesday, so we're all craving football. I think Texas State's the play here. I know Louisiana has a win at Wake, and a Power 4 win or whatever you want to say. But I think Texas State, when you look at their 3 losses, I think they're better than 4-3. I just think their schedule was kind of had some challenges there with Arizona State, Sam Houston State. They blew like a 20-point lead against Sam Houston State. It's a get right spot coming off the ODU game. So I think Texas State and GJ Kinney get it done there at home against the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I kind of think this is going to be a good game, and I want to take the 4 points with the Raging Cajuns. They've only lost one game, that shootout to Tulane, 41-33. Their yards are good. Their yards per play. I like Texas State's defense. I just think this is going to be a hell of a game. To me, it's you're giving me points with the Raging Cajuns. I think that's crazy. This is a field goal game. Give me the Raging Cajuns +4. Kramer, what are you doing?
Oh, you got to take the home team here. Yeah, I thought Colby was going to give us a little switcheroo there with being at Cajun Field, but yeah, no. Texas State minus the 4. In general, I think these early week games are strange. I don't care if you're coming off a bye. It's just a weird, these football guys they're creatures of habit. So I'll tilt to the home team, Sean, as I pick Texas State.
Sounds like you almost leaned, Ryan.
I almost leaned, but I didn't. I tilted. We're gonna be creating a whole world of new words getting created.
Yeah, anything but the L word.
No, I love Texas State here, and in fact, I would. I'll throw you some bonus because I see Colby doesn't like all the Tuesday games. I'll throw you some bonus action. Colby, are we taking the points with La Tech against Sam Houston?
No.
Oh my goodness.
They're gonna fire Sonny Cumbie. Sam Houston's defense is good. It's at the Bear Claw.
Then we're doing a Texas 2-step, little Tuesday parlay.
Oh,
we're taking
love
Sam Houston and Texas State. Let's go, Colby. All right, moving along. Sean won't join us in that because he's
no, thank you.
He's anti-Texas.
Yeah, come on.
Let's hop.
Dallas is in Texas.
Oh,
Do
wow.
I need I remind you?
Wow. All right. Well, you're backing a bunch of angry folks from the Bayou.
Yeah, we tagged.
Very dangerous. I wish I had bookmarked that video of Coach O jogging just through random shirtless. Yeah, just
he almost looked like he's like just straight from a swamp. He's all like tan and sweaty and almost like kind of like got a Gatory skin to him.
Is
Very
he
interesting
not
character.
The mascot for the Raging Cajuns.
He may as well be.
Well, I can tell you this: Southern Miss just fired Will Hall, their head coach. Southern Miss, Hattiesburg is practically Louisiana. Orgeron's out there. Make the phone call. Make the phone call. We're missing him in sport.
Well,
where does he go? I mean, he won a national championship not that long ago.
Well,
isn't this kind of crazy? He's not in media. He's not.
The problem
he's just
is
enjoying the buyout.
That's what I'm saying. It's like following Ric Flair's Instagram. It just seems like this guy. It just seems like this guy's having the time of his life. He's in like fucking Cancun. He visits the University of Miami. He's just chilling on South Beach. I think Notre Dame paid him to do a pregame speech, so he just flew up to Notre Dame for like an hour. Wonder what you got paid there. I as much as I want him to be the head coach of Southern Miss or potentially Louisiana Tech next year, I can't knock his life because it seems pretty fucking amazing right now.
Southern Miss would find a way to funnel the needed funds to get Coach O there. I think based on their
he probably still has connects.
Well, I was just thinking about the volleyball situation with Brett Favre.
Oh,
they seem to be willing to bend a rule or two. All right, Wednesday night we're heading to Lynchburg, Virginia. I mean,
that's more Sean territory.
They haven't.
There we go.
No one's forced the city to change their name. Liberty -2, -125 on the money line. Jacksonville State +105. We have no total in the sheet. Breaking news. I will quickly look up the total. 63 is the total.
Yeah, no. This is more Sean territory because I thought he'd be on board with the cult that is Liberty University.
Oh yeah, as a home dog.
Big Jerry Falwell fan.
No, they're 2-point favorites.
Yeah.
Despite the documentary with him jerking off in a corner while every 21-year-old fucks his wife, but
real cuck.
Look, they're coming off that 20. They were favored by 27.5 points against Kennesaw State. They lost outright to Kennesaw a week ago. Is it a get right spot? You got Rich Rod and Jacksonville State and Tyler Huff, who have been getting better. I feel like with every giving week. I think it's a get right spot for the Flamin' Libs there. So I will take the Libs minus the points there. Just because of the home atmosphere. I do believe Jacksonville, if this was a neutral site, I would take Jacksonville State, but I just think that atmosphere is pretty electric. It's probably the toughest environment to go to within the Conference USA. And I think that's the reason why. So give me the Flaming Libs.
Sean, say it.
What?
Dream Crusher.
And also Jacksonville State much better at forcing turnovers. All the other stats are pretty equal between these two teams, but Jacksonville State is like 8 better at forcing turnovers. I think that's going to be the difference in this game. And We say it all the time, especially in college. A 2-point home favorite in college, to me, that's a red flag. The line is talking to me. I'm going Jacksonville State here. I understand the Liberty off a loss get up spot, but that I'm with Kramer. I think that was more of a dream crusher game than a hey, we're going to get up for this.
Cool. They have no chance to make the playoff now, right?
Yeah, but they still could win the Conference USA. This is pretty much the game to win it.
Yeah, I understand that. It does make sense that teams would get up to win their conference, but I'm playing the Dream Crusher. I think that like they read all they've read about themselves this week is how they are no longer in the playoff hunt. Yeah, let's take Rich Rod.
Let's go. I like Rich Rod.
So then, so that's Tuesday. Now Thursday night. Wow, football every night, huh?
No, Friday. Did I fuck this up?
Nope. There's 31 days in October. That's my mistake. We're skipping Halloween, everyone's favorite holiday. Now, why is it that women love Halloween so much?
It's dress up time.
Just free square on being a little bit slutty.
Yeah, I mean, you get to dress up however you wanted. You get to be a naughty, whatever, a dream occupation. Yeah, I don't know. They like the outfits, the designs, the makeup. Maybe
the costume this year is I just get a couple balloons and I put various touchdown props from this weekend that I like, and I flash people
like that.
my TDs.
Show them your TDs. Very creative, Kramer.
Thank you. San Diego State heads to Boise, Idaho, where our buddy Derek Stevens and the circuit crew will be hanging out. Boise State minus 23.5, minus 4,000 on the money line. San Diego State plus 1,300. 56.5 is the total. Wow, big money line here. Sean, you typically like the Friday night dogs, but knowing that Circa will be a Boise State team, which what we learned this past trip, Sean, was they're kind of a Boise State establishment. So we might have to just
a lot of Boise State super fans frequent Circa. We actually got to meet the Mountain West commissioner. Shout out to Gloria. Got to chat with her about the future of Mountain West. Very high on the conference.
We're solving big problems.
Yeah, see her hanging out at Circa, chatting it up with Derek. There may be a celebrity tossing the coin for this game that we may or may not know. So stay tuned there. The
Carrot
thing
Top?
is, Carrot Top will be there. Mountain West alum. Man, is this a little? I guess not because it's Friday night, but I kind of like. I don't know. Boise State had that big win against UNLV. That was a great game. Kind of draining. I get it's a Friday night, but isn't this a kitchen sink game for San Diego State? Now the problem is San Diego State not awesome at stopping the run. 86 in rushing yards allowed. Gene T had a very human stat line. He did get the anytime touchdown. I think he only had one touchdown, so it was like minus 1,300 for one touchdown. Again, his stat line has been insane. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was a pretty physical game. I think San Diego State's going to come up there.
Oh no.
Our gals are back. 23.5 points. They made it 23.5 because you can talk yourself into, all they got to do is win by 24. They're going to destroy them.
What's he doing, Colby?
Take the Aztecs and the points. Dogs bark on Friday night. Colby?
I'm with you. It's a sleepy spot. Big number. Sean Lewis got this team playing better. They almost knocked off Wazoo.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and historically San Diego State has given Boise State fits. This was a 3-point game a season ago. So I mean, I feel like we gotta just ride with the Aztecs plus the points there. And this could be a backdoor cover. This could be a blowout early on, and we just cover it late. But it's just I don't think it's that cold yet in Boise. We got
turning.
No.
The tide is turning.
This one I am solidly on the Aztecs.
12 to 15 mile an hour winds. It's gonna drop into the feels like high 30s. Are we sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Come on, you idiot. Lay the points with Boise State. If this was not a Friday night game, Sean, maybe you'd have a case here. Maybe.
But what do you mean? We've seen dogs dominate on Friday.
No, I'm saying the lack of a get up spot for this to be a sleepy spot. My counterpoint to your point about San Diego State might not be very good. They barely beat a bad.
That's why they're getting 23.5 points.
I understand, but like Colby said, this Boise team has the ability to get up and lean on teams, and they can just run their. See what I did there? This is an offense that will be more comfortable playing with the lead, downhill, run blocking, and letting their dudes go to work. So I'm laying the points here.
Yeah,
I appreciate
over to San Diego State.
Have you seen a photo of Danny O'Neal, Kramer? I mean, this is a guy you want to fade as a 23.5 point dog. Colby. I mean, I'm gonna pull up the photo of him.
Oh, I know who he is. He's a recruit out of Indiana that was originally signed on to Colorado that flipped over to San Diego State when Sean Lewis left Colorado.
I'm pulling up a photo of Danny O'Neal. I mean, come on. Look at this dude.
He 100% is a. He certainly has.
You want to go against this guy getting 23.5 points?
He's got that's a little bit of Quinn Ewers year one.
This is Quinn Ewers when he was a badass.
Yeah, when he had his inner Bosworth channeling. So I think you don't want to fade that. Give me that all day. Give me the Aztecs. They're going to stay within this. Sean Lewis is a good coach. They only lost to Cal by 21. You know, I feel like with each giving week, they're going to understand his offense more and more. And Boise is Boise really have this one circled? I don't think so.
It's going to be cold up there. The pretty boys from San Diego coming up to.
No, I mean, what is? I mean,
do you want to talk about the elevation, Sean? You want to bring it up? You're an elevation-based handicapper.
Yeah.
You didn't even mention the elevation.
What's the elevation
at San Diego? 0.
Okay.
0. The elevation at Boise, Idaho. I don't know. I'm not looking at it right now off the top of my head, but I know it's probably somewhere in the 3,000 to 5,000 feet range.
No.
So we'll have an impact.
2,700 feet.
Okay.
That's
so
whoa.
Dogs.
He's forgetting that half of Idaho is Californians.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh wow.
Fair weather, thin blood. Give me the Aztecs, our gals. They roll. Let's go.
For the record, I love the state of Idaho. Unlike Colby, clearly throwing slander, they once served me a delicious chickpea burger.
I'm just saying, when they saw my California ID, I was with NC Nick. They welcomed him. They're like buying him drinks. When they saw mine, it was like, "You piece of shit! You get out of this town right now." So all that Yellowstone stuff is true.
Hey, sign up today over at underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN. Get you a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Got some Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday. It was so much college football. You got to be building some lineups here. Colby, any of these weekday action jumping at you? You got some plays here. Plenty of games to pick from. What's jumping out at you? We just spoke of Danny O'Neal. You could take his passing touchdowns higher at 7.5. Maybe you like Ashton Jeanty. I mean, I don't know. You could take his lower a touchdown. That's a 6.16x multiplier that he wouldn't score a touchdown. He's obviously going. His rushing yards is set at 181.5. His lines have been crazy. Anything you like in that game? What are we doing, Colby?
Well, the lower hit that last time when they played UNLV there. I would say the O'Neal one is definitely going to hit. You know, Sean Lewis's offense. You know, they're basically running the veer and shoot the Art Briles offense. So that's going to give you a good shot to get a passing touchdown. I'm actually wondering. I'm trying to find if you can find Darian Mensah, Tulane's quarterback, Thursday night when they take on Biff Poggi in Charlotte.
Yep, we got him.
What's that yard total?
182.5 is the projection I'm looking at. We also got 39.5 longest completion.
Yeah, I mean, I think
passing yards, a half rush and receiving touchdowns, and a half interception.
I'll take the longest completion because Mario Williams, former 5-star, was the number one receiver recruit in the nation. Was at Oklahoma and followed Lincoln Riley over to USC. He's there with Darian Mensah, and I like Mensah for some reason. He was lighting it up early. He had like 300 yard games. He's only had like 175 yard games recently. but I think some of that is game script. So give me just the highest completion being over that.
Really? So you don't like the 182.5 then versus the 39?
If they're up by a lot, I mean, Biff Poggi's Charlotte team's been all over the place. One of the harder teams to project. Sometimes they lose by 40. Sometimes they're in it and they're giving good teams a dogfight. But that's why I think you play just go with the talent. Mario Williams is a stud. He'll have a 40-yard catch in this game.
All right. Darian Mensah.
Well, why not just take Mario Williams longest reception 17.5?
Oh, well there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Last minute audible here.
Well, I figured I'd insert myself in the process to make sure we're getting maximum EV.
So Danny O'Neal higher a passing touchdown and Mario Williams higher longest reception 17.5. Underdogfantasy.com promo code SGPN.
All right. Higher a touchdown, passing touchdown. This feels like an easy one. I'm getting down on this one, Sean.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Love me. I love nothing I like more than tying statistical projections together. Friday night, Saturday morning, heading to State College, Pennsylvania for a big game. Why are they playing this at noon? Ohio State, Penn State, 3.5 point home dog, plus 150 on the money line, minus 175 for the Buckeyes. 46.5 is the total. I don't get it. If the TV people are taking over, what's going on? This isn't a noon game.
Yeah. Why is this not?
The noon time window is actually the best time window in college football right now, the most watched. And that's why they moved this to this.
It's probably all those losers with families and relationships that go out at Saturday night. I mean, they should come on. What are you doing? We love college football. Make this the 5 o'clock West Coast, 8 o'clock night game.
And it really hurts. To me, it hurts State College, man. We saw this with West Virginia and Penn State week 1. Like, if you're ruining the drunkenness is part of the experience.
As a guy who blacked out at a noon game, trust me.
Whoa, no, that's impressive.
Yeah,
at the game or before the game?
Well, I guess during the game,
you probably snuck some stuff in.
I passed out standing up and fell into the people in front of me. I made it through the game.
I will say at the Hokie games, it was pretty routine that there would be some sort of bladder-like object filled with whiskey.
I mean, the move is a water bottle. You just fill it up with whiskey and you bring it in.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty simple.
I think they had some security at the game, so you couldn't just roll in with the water bottle.
Yeah, water bottle was fine.
Well, I never blacked out at the Rose Bowl, but they still deemed me ineligible. Right?
Have you tried to go back?
Academically ineligible?
No.
Yeah.
No. If anything, if I go back, I'm pulling a Diego Pavi on that place.
Nice. Piss all over it. All right. So Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State already let us down once this year. Yes. The idea of Ohio State being on the potential outside looking in of the Big Ten and the playoff and all this stuff is just a Penn State upset in a big game away. Can we back Penn State to get an upset in a big game?
100%. 100%. Penn State can get it done. They're gonna get it done. I mean, this is the best team they've had in years. I know Drew Aller is a game time decision, but Boo Pribula, the backup, he looks just as good, and he also gives them a nice running option. So I think either way, they're gonna. This game is going to be again another field goal game. You're getting 3.5. Penn State shows up in this game. If they're gonna, and I think they can slow down the rush of Ohio State, force them to pass, force Will Howard to beat you. I don't think he can, and that's how Penn State gets it done. So yeah, give me Penn State here as a home dog.
Yeah, I mean, slow down the rush of Ohio State. I mean, I think anybody can do that, right? I mean, we saw last week what happened when they played Nebraska. I get what you see. I would push back on some of the Ohio State fans and say we had Penn State on deck. Well, you're also coming off the loss of Oregon. You had a bye week. You know what I mean? So I disagree with that. I just don't think this team's that good, and we'll see. I think Andy Kotelnicki at the offensive coordinator spot can really pose some problems. The longer a game goes on, you saw it in the Wisconsin game, you saw it in the West Virginia game. I think they're capable of. I think it's the best offensive coordinator they've had, the most like dynamic offensive coordinator they've had, maybe in my lifetime, at least since the early 2000s, late 90s, something like that. And I think that's the difference of the game. And I do think Penn State's defensive line will bottle up that.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is Ohio State beat up on the line of scrimmage, they rushed for just 64 yards against Nebraska. Now Nebraska's got a couple. They're all right defensively, but I think Penn State's defense is better. You got the home crowd behind you. Obviously the night game would help a little bit more, but you're getting more than the field goal. I just can't take Ohio State. Maybe they win, but more than a field goal, no. Give me Penn State all day.
I mean, this is a very, very. I really want to take Penn State because Ohio State, not
Ryan
impressive.
Day. Talk to any Ohio State fan. Do they like the idea of Ryan Day laying 3.5 points?
Well, and Patty C brings up a good point. They had this kind of a crazy offseason idea of bringing in a white quarterback. It's like they're trying to run with him, and he's a solid runner, but he's not some of the guys they've had in the past. So I think Patty C's got a good point there that he's not super athletic. So like he's not a passing quarterback. This isn't Dan Marino. So when he is forced to pass, he's all right, but he's not super accurate. And then when he runs the ball, it's not like you're dealing with a guy that can break one for 80 yards. So I do think it puts the bumpers on their offense there a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you really kind of look at how both these teams have played this year, why is Ohio State getting all this respect in the betting market that they should be laying 3.5? I mean, Penn State's been on the road for a bit. When's the last time they played a home game?
I would say the big thing is Franklin in big games in general has been pretty horrible, but
he's like a poor man's Ryan Day.
But I would say maybe he got over the hump. Like that comeback for Drew against USC was huge for Drew Aller. I thought it was huge for James Franklin. Even that Wisconsin game to win and cover in a spot where you could be looking ahead like Ohio State did. It's not easy to go into Wisconsin and get a road victory and win by 15. Like that was a nice win for them. So yeah, I think back-to-back road games, you're back at home here. Meanwhile, this is to Ohio State, like just hasn't looked amazing, right? That Oregon game, they completely fucked up, and then they're at home against Nebraska and almost lose the game outright.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe they're looking ahead, but
here's the thing: is they keep trying to be Michigan, like the bringing in Quinshon Judkins and having Travion Henderson and bringing in even the quarterback there, like they're trying to be more physical on the line of scrimmage and run the ball when really like, okay, Harbaugh left, like your offense, your finesse game might have actually suited you better for these matchups. I'm with you. I just think it's Penn State's defense is going to put the kibosh on that running attack. And I don't know how you lay more than a field goal with a questionable quarterback as far as like passing the ball. I don't think this offense is nearly as dynamic as it's been historically. So yeah, give me Franklin. I hate taking James Franklin in these big spots, but you got to do it here.
I mean, Penn State has won in-state college against Ohio State one time since 2006. One time. Covered twice,
and that was a blocked field goal too. That was a blocked field goal. That's I get it.
All right,
but
I'm revoking.
Easy to see a tide turn.
Reversal. Give me Ohio State.
Wow.
No,
okay.
Kramer. I'm telling you though, they have not. Penn State under Franklin historically had like the least aggressive offensive coordinators. Andy Kotelnicki comes over from Lance Leipold in Kansas. Good. Yes, and he takes fucking shots, man. He takes shots that I don't know that Ohio State is ready for. So I don't know, man. I think this is their best offensive coordinator hire in a long, long time, and I think that's the reason why you jump on Penn State.
Colby, you like handicapping those Team A does in Team B's place. I'm just pointing out, Ohio State has owned this rivalry. Game number 2 in the early window. Oh, now it's good. We have time to talk about the Virginia Tech Hokies as they travel to Syracuse, New York, still controlling their own destiny in the ACC and laying 4 points here. It looks like you got the steepest of the numbers because you can find 3.5s out there. -185 on the money line. Syracuse +155. 53.5 is the total. We saw it. Everyone has that car in college, and one day it breaks down, and you just got to leave it there. You get your shotgun out and you put it down on the side of the road. You let the ambulance car come out, pick them up. Kyle McCord clearly was broken last week. You can't bounce back from that. Not against a Coach Pride defense. It's going to be rushing the passer. Not against the Kyron Drones led offense that's finally cooking a little bit. And like I said, they still control their own destiny. They've been beating the crap out of some teams that aren't very good, like Syracuse. Love the spot. I'd play this up to 7, Sean. This is a strong, mega lean opinion play.
Sean,
-7. Play it up to -7.
The amount of bullshit that just came out of his mouth was fascinating.
Great. We control our own destiny in the ACC.
Sean, he said this Kyron Jones offense, it's been cooking a little bit. It cooked for 223 yards of offense last week.
At home against Georgia Tech.
At home, and their star running back, Tootin from North Carolina A&T, is questionable for this game. No, don't buy into his bullshit. It's been cooking. What? The 2 for 15 on third downs, is that cooking? Right?
Since Colby's injuries news has been very unreliable lately, I went and did my own research.
Okay.
Teammate says that Tootin will be out there.
Teammate
for Syracuse.
I'll tell you what. I mean, come on. You get the extra rest. You get to time. Yeah, it was
extra rest.
Yeah. You get the couple extra days. That's going to be big for getting Kyle McCord's confidence back up. Oh. The Carrier Dome will be rocking. Don't come a knocking.
Need a couple more weeks.
Carrier Dome's going to be rocking. I mean, Virginia Tech, when they step up in class, like playing Syracuse on the road, they hit the wall, Ryan. You know this.
Well, you're implying, first of all,
they lost to Rutgers.
You're implying that stepping up and that's not a non-conference game. Talk to me about conference games. And you're implying that Syracuse is a step up in class. Yes. In your mind, they're a step up in class because you're a fanboy. You still call them the Orange Men. They're the Orange, and they're not good. Where have they been good this season? Because you watched them beat UNLV on a Friday night in overtime. That was why? A nice win. Is that why you think? Because
they won barely at NC State. That was a good win.
They lost to Syracuse at home. Syracuse is horrible.
Are Syracuse.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
What? They lost to Stanford at home. Stanford is horrible.
Yeah. That was again. The turnovers can get out of hand with Kyle McCord, but not Saturday.
Come on.
Sean's right. Sean's right. Syracuse.
It's a close your eyes special for college football.
Right, the Hokies and the Hokies have had a hard time historically at that filthy Carrier Dome there. So yeah, what are we talking about here? You got your best player questionable. I don't care if a guy tweets out he's going to play. We'll see.
It out. My sources say.
You got Drones. It was 2 for 15 on third downs last week. What is encouraging about this offense hitting the road?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Hitting the road where they lost at Vanderbilt, the construction zone, and at Miami Gardens, that filthy place. And now they go to another filthy place. Of course they're going to lose this game. Give me Q's. Ride it on the money line.
Love it. Let's go, Kramer.
All right.
Where's Syracuse show?
Boeheim will not be coming out of that tunnel to save you, Sean. 9 a.m. on the East Coast. A lot of early games because Colby. Now that Colby's on the East Coast, he's got to flex on us, and he's got to remind us how. You guys will have to get up super early. Ole Miss, Arkansas. A reminder: Joe Judge is the analytics whisperer in Lane Kiffin's ear. Ole Miss laying 7 -270 on the money line. Arkansas +220, 53.5 is the total. Not super related to this game, but kind of related to both these teams. But man, Colby, your prediction about team for like organizations, schools that are traditionally good, cratering to the bottom of the new SEC, is going to be delightful. I still can't buy into this Ole Miss team. It's very difficult for me to see this number and want to lay it on the road. Colby.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I mean, you look, they were losing to Oklahoma last week. And at halftime, now they did bottle up.
Wait, hold on, Colby. Who sees that as a bigger insult? Calling someone from Oklahoma someone from Arkansas, or vice versa?
I do believe the Oklahomans take
that would
that.
be an insult.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I think, believe it or not, on the insult level, I think Arkansas might be dead last in the
really?
When it comes
so
to just
every other
puns.
state would be insulted if you mistook them from someone from Arkansas.
I feel like that's accurate. I feel like from my travels, I feel like that is accurate, because I feel like whenever you're reaching for a state of being like, maybe the only other one would be Iowa.
It's the only state I'm personally not allowed to go back to.
But are you afraid of Bobby Petrino's going to whoop your ass?
No, it's just a personal ban.
Oh, I thought you might have moved in on a squirrel.
You got put on a list like you and the Rose Bowl.
No, but it's my list.
Oh, okay.
It's like there's 50 states, and one of them's on the do not enter list, and it's Arkansas.
I figured Bobby Petrino had maybe his wife, after he had looked for other options.
I got
he ran the triple
accident.
option. He ran the triple option on his relationship, and then I thought maybe you took advantage back in your single days and moved in on his squirrel. So
Petrino ran that crazy ass version of the triple option where the wide receiver goes the other way. They tried to do the pitch back, and it turned into a horrible safety.
Yeah. But look, are you kidding me? Have you guys caught this Bobby Petrino offense? It's working, by the way. Pulled pork Pittman and Bobby Petrino.
He's fun.
Good God, we got to get them in. We got to get them on the show, or we got to meet up with them and Derek Stevens at the bar, because that would be a hoot there. But they scored 58 points last week. 58 points in an SEC game. Buy it in, man. And it's at home in Fayetteville. The offense is moving. Ole Miss has been phony as fuck all year. Typical Ole Miss team. Don't let the SEC fans tell you this, but they've never been good. So they get phony wins. I think their best win of the season is either Wake Forest or actually it's probably South Carolina. But no, you got to take Arkansas here. Taylor Green and them are playing good ball, and more a touchdown. And I know it was at 8 on Sunday and Monday, but if you can get over a touchdown, even better. Oh, wow. I think the money line might be live.
You're hearing that CLB over there?
Arkansas knocked him out of the SEC title contention in 2014 and 2015. Since 2008, they've been locked 8-8 as far as games, with 9 games decided by 4 points or fewer. I guess my concern is that Ole Miss is pretty good at slowing down the run. Arkansas is looking to run the ball to set up that offense. But again, I come back to this being a competitive game, conference home dog. Woo pig suey. Give me Arkansas all day. Kramer, what are you doing?
Arkansas has as many SEC victories as Kentucky, Auburn, and Oklahoma combined.
It's so funny that Oklahoma's in there.
Yeah, Oklahoma just being, well, you can throw Mississippi State in that list as well, as they are winless in the conference. It is funny to pull up the standings in the conference and be like, oh my goodness, like this is not going to work out. Like, I mean, think about Stoops out there in Kentucky. He's sitting pretty with that contract every year, just going bowling, and all of a sudden, boom! Now he's a doormat. Not going to get that contract.
They voted yes. They voted yes on those teams coming in.
Again,
so
they all asked for the money.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. Give me Arkansas. This Arkansas, I think, goes in a money line parlay. This is one of those.
Ooh.
Yeah, like Colby said, this Ole Miss team is fraudulent. Why they deserve to be laying 7 in this matchup? They're beneath Arkansas in the standings for their own conference. So call me foolish. Another 9 a.m. kick here, heading down to Miami, where this one might mean more for the Duke head coach as he returns to a stadium that's been more lit than I've seen it in some time. Miami now -20.5, -1600 on the money line. Duke +800. 54.5 is the total. We all know that Miami has the direct line to the command center. When they need a call, they get it. But boy, this could be
a lot of points for a decent Duke team, right?
And Manny Diaz, he's back, baby.
The revenge game for Manny Diaz.
Colby, are we taking Duke here?
Oh, I think we have to, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's already beat Mac Brown, who fired him. right?
Oh,
and
yes.
and now you add in this. He has a better record than Cristobal over his first couple years there.
And we haven't seen Cristobal pull a Cristobal yet, right? Like, aren't we due for one of these just horrific play calling, horrific, just late game management, some sort of, and certainly the refs in the ACC have bailed them out and put them in favorable spots. But doesn't it seem like they're due for a complete fuck up at some point in this season? I mean, I love Cam Ward as a quarterback, but he might win the Heisman and by default if Travis Hunter doesn't get there. Although Travis Hunter now is the odds-on favorite. I think we gave him out preseason at what 20 something, 30 something. We had discussed.
I think so, and I think we also gave out Texas A&M, who's looking very good in the SEC right now.
We're gonna go back and look at all our predictions and start kissing our own ass here. But yeah, I love the revenge factor. Conference dog catching 20.5. This is a good spot.
Can we also add into the fact that you're not going to be able to pull a fast one here, Miami? Let's all be honest. Miami should have probably 3 losses right now, and they're trying their best. But Manny Diaz's dad, former mayor of Miami, it's not going to work here. It's not going to work. The politics are aligned. You try this shit here, ACC. All right, there's going to be a lawsuit coming. All right, there'll be a lawsuit coming.
I wanted to read something.
You'll hear from my father's attorney.
I wanted to read something that this was posted December 6th, 2021.
Duke knows about winning lawsuits.
Miami's a wannabe Illuminati conference. Duke is the Illuminati conference. So this was posted December 6th, 2021, 12:42 p.m. here on the West Coast by one coach Manny Diaz on X, formerly Twitter. Quote, I am disappointed in the university's decision and the manner in which this played out over the last few weeks. The uncertainty impacted our team, our staff, and their families. These are real people that gave everything to this program. For them, I hurt. Manny Diaz, in his essentially post getting fired letter, not happy with the way the university handled it. All the money on Miami or on Duke. Let's fucking go.
They could be a live dog.
Lesser
Duke
of evils.
Miami is due to lose one of these. So
if the refs let them,
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
they need non-conference refs for this game.
They saw indisputable evidence that Hail Mary didn't get caught.
Well, they didn't see the 3 offensive linemen that were 9 yards deep into the end zone against Cal, and then we could talk about the fumble at Louisville, but it's okay.
The fumble with Louisville is absolutely maybe the worst of all of them. All right, let's move along to 9:45 a.m. A very strange kick time here. Heading to Auburn, where Vanderbilt is once again a juicy dog. Pavia is banged up, but will play. Again, I did my own injury.
Of course he will. Of course he will.
Yeah, come on.
Vanderbilt plus
that's his Twitter bio. Banged up, will play.
Vanderbilt plus 6.5, plus 200 on the money line. 48.5 is the total. Auburn is an absolute poverty university at this point. I do not know how they get out of being in the bottom of the SEC. Cam Newton's kid isn't anywhere near being ready to play college football or born. I don't have that kind of research done. I don't. Of course, we're taking the points with Vanderbilt.
Colby, you're all over Auburn here, right?
No. In fact, Diego's already pissed there once when New Mexico came in as like 27 point dogs or whatever a year ago and won outright. And look, Cam Rising's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is Diego pissing Pavia. He doesn't miss games. The guy's going to play, and not only will he play, he'll tell your D tackle to get fucked. All right, like he is he's just a gamer. And here's another thing: I like the fact that Auburn won at Kentucky. I think they're thinking, okay, we got it back together here. I think Vandy's a better team, and I think they've been a better team all year. You saw it against Texas. Yes, Texas won that game. Their D line is probably the main reason why they won that game. But I think Vandy can hang with them in the trenches.
Colby, they asked him about, he's from Albuquerque, which if you know anything about that town, a lot of scrappy dogs in Albuquerque, both probably actual coyotes, dogs, and human beings like Diego Pavia. They asked him about not being recruited by the University of New Mexico, and he said they weren't interested in winning, which is just such an awesome thing to say.
Especially after you've already pissed on their logo at midfield.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was, I mean, just what a great, I mean, adding to the pissing thing, just an all time. Yeah. They didn't have me because they weren't interested in winning. This is a crazy stat. Diego Pavia has really put Vandy on his back. I mean, it's hilarious that the other like notable guy from Vandy, at least in my mind, that really did things for them was Jay Cutler, because he's like definitely opposite as far as the dog spectrum. He's completed 64.5% of his passes for 1,534 yards, 13 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions. He also leads the team in rushing, 134 carries, 537 yards, 4 touchdowns. So it's like he just is a one-man wrecking crew on offense.
He plays quarterback the way the game was designed to play quarterback. He plays. He's the leader. He's the toughest guy on the team. He'll run the ball. He'll pass the ball. He'll do whatever it takes to win the game. He'll block you. It's the way quarterback position should be played, Sean. Now, don't tell Peyton Manning this, but you know what I mean. All right.
Oh, Ryan was loving in some Manning cast.
Oh, it was great.
Loved Eli and Peyton chopping it up.
With
he was laughing out loud when they would play the Peyton Manning commercials. Get it? Because he's painting,
throwing it right to a Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning throwing it to a Peyton Manning.
It was Ryan was in a full Manning lather watching Monday Night Football.
Hugh Freeze on Diego Pavia. Quote: "I'm sick of seeing that guy."
What? You're kicking the hornet's nest?
Well. They previous battles, Liberty and New Mexico. If you expand on what the aggregators picked up, he actually is saying what a competitor he is, and it's kind of a nice thing. But perhaps Diego Pavia only saw the aggregator version, which is Hugh Freeze is quote sick of seeing Diego Pavia.
I thought I thought he couldn't. I thought he didn't have access to a phone. So where's he seeing him?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he's getting VHS. Is that they got to inspect the VHS, but then it's okay.
We got to take a look. Hey, have you guys signed up with BetUS? sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Woo! So easy to use BetUS. They're running a bunch of promos here for Halloween. Spooky season is upon us. BetUS is taking part of it now until the end of the month. Tons of extra bonuses. It's their trick or treat on Horror Street. They have daily promos and raffle entry to win a sports or casino prize pack. They're going to be drawing that at the end of the month. You can enter multiple times. Every $200 deposit gets you a free entry. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN. America's favorite sportsbook.
All right. Next up, I think this is a big game in the old SEC. This was a big game. Well, I guess it remains to be seen if it will be in the new SEC, but they're still playing at a neutral site. Colby, Jacksonville, Florida, which we just saw the Jags cover against the Packers as I predicted, and Jordan Love threw an interception. He's throwing an interception in every single game this year. Pretty impressive stuff. 12:30 on the West Coast. Florida. Georgia laying 17 -1,000 on the money line, 6-1 for Florida in the rivalry game. 52.5 is the total. I mean, Georgia can't really lose any more games, right? So I guess that's always going to keep them on some sort of a high alert. I mean, another loss almost certainly bumps them from getting into the SEC championship, right?
Oh, well, that's correct. But yeah, I mean, they could still, in theory, lose one. They're going to make the playoffs, but
I just like bringing that up because I think it's a little harder to not be focused this year with all of these massively deep conferences because you got your one loss already. You got to pay attention here. My initial thoughts are you got to lay I know this is a rivalry game, but I think Georgia on a mission now is just going to discard teams.
I think it's bigger than that too. I think this is a game Kirby Smart likes to fuck them up. Like this is
Recruiting
one
game.
territory. It is, it's a historic rivalry. I think the boosters. This is like a C note game. So
Yeah.
it in that regard, I think you got to take the dogs here because Graham Mertz is out for the season now. Some would say the way Florida played after Mertz got injured would say,
Upgrade.
hey, that's an upgrade. But still, Georgia's defense with a week to prep, with an inexperienced quarterback, I gotta say, dogs get it done here. I'm gonna lay the points.
All right, I was thinking about selecting Florida, but you're making a compelling case. And
is that what it sounds like when you select Florida?
What?
You mean like
Well, I'm just anytime there's a rivalry game and I'm laying 17, I'm a little bit nervous. But to your point, Georgia's defense, Kirby Smart, super motivated. I'm a little skeptical of Florida here. So I'll take Georgia laying
the S&P plus. The nerds like Florida, like your angle there. 12.5.
I mean, C-note game. Is that even $100 in this economy? What is that getting you, Colby? Can't even take you and your gal out to Chick-fil-A for $100.
I mean, it's just one of those stocking stuffers, man. It's added into there when they come back. They know they can drive fast. All right.
Oh wow.
You got a couple extra bucks to pay those fines.
Yeah, maybe it's we'll convert it from a C-note game to a couple stacks of high society game.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Oregon, Michigan, another 12:30 game here on the West Coast. We're heading to Ann Arbor. Michigan made me look like an asshole last week as they got rid of Michigan State, covered the spread. I mean, how? And now they're catching 14.5, which tells me trap against this Oregon team. Ducks on the road here, -800. Michigan 5-1 on the money line. 45.5 is the total. I mean, my gut says no different than when we saw the USC Rutgers spread at 14.5. It says, oh, well, of course I like Oregon here. Yeah, and Michigan coming off a win that. I mean, look, I don't mind being wrong about Michigan, but it's really annoying when you're wrong about when Michigan actually manages to get it done against you. Yeah, they're not a good football team.
I mean, you need some sort of offense to be able to hang with Oregon. Michigan doesn't have that. They already had their Super Bowl win last week against Michigan State. Because I think people saw Michigan win in a rivalry game and are like, oh, okay, Michigan's not bad. I mean, they're 14.5 point dogs for a reason. And as much as I've been skeptical of this Oregon team, skeptical of Dylan Gabriel, his turnovers in the red zone, yada yada, I think this is a spot where they smash Michigan. So I'm laying the 14.5 with you, Kramer. What are you doing, Colby?
I'll take the points. I think when you think about what Oregon's played on the road, they played at Oregon State, and that was like week 3.
Destroyed
Oregon State. Well, but Oregon State brought in a brand new, pretty much a brand new roster. So, they had so many guys in the portal. I don't think that really counts. That they're still a mess, in my opinion. At UCLA is not a road game. Then you went at Purdue, who is probably the worst Power 5 in all of college football. So I think the fact that this will be a lit environment
Friday night and you shut them out.
But I mean, this is a team that Notre Dame dropped. Notre Dame's been playing football for a long time. And that was the most points Notre Dame scored, 66-7. Notre Dame's not known as a high powered offense. So I do believe Purdue is that bad. I will take the point just because I think Michigan's defense can pose problems, and it's actually going to be a lit environment. They're probably the first true real test of Oregon on the road here. So give me the Wolverines there plus the points.
I don't know. I guess Oregon is ranked number 1. That's something to get up for, but yeah, I don't know. Michigan, in a weird way, I know they're playing the number 1 ranked team. This is kind of a sandwich spot for them because they had Michigan State at home, and then you really have a chance to knock off what will probably be an undefeated Indiana team next week. So I could see I don't know. Is it crazy to say this is a look ahead spot past Oregon?
No. This
I just don't think Michigan's
I
good.
just don't think they're good. I think you need a quarterback to beat Oregon.
They're just not good.
I know you hate the quarterback position, Colby, but to beat Oregon, you have to have a quarterback.
Well, I especially hate the quarterback position ran by Dylan Gabriel. So please, I will gladly endorse someone knocking him out on an abrupt slide.
Oh wow!
Yes,
wow.
please.
All right, Colby is throwing out a bounty, which I don't think is illegal.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Can we bring bounties back to football?
I don't think they're illegal here. Some places they might be illegal. Definitely not illegal here. Let's move along to another 12:30 kickoff here on the West Coast, Sean, where we had to East Lansing. A lot of people very upset with Colby for not putting Indiana on the card last week. Cost everyone money because we were going to
would have been all over Indiana.
Indiana laying 8 here on the road to Michigan State, coming off that disappointing performance against Michigan in the rivalry game. Michigan State plus 240 on the money line. 51.5 is the total. How can you fit? I get it. At this point, Indiana, they become a public side. Everyone is aware of them. They're looking at the schedule. They're like, wow, this could really turn into an undefeated team going against Ohio State in a couple of weeks. Indiana, that Italian American fellow they got coaching ball out there in Indiana, who talked all that shit against their rivals on the basketball court to start it all off. You said we like that.
What did he say? I'm a winner. Google me.
I mean, how are we going to fade this team?
He said that in media days at halftime of that Indiana basketball game. He called out Ohio State and Michigan and said, "We're coming for you." Yeah. And Purdue also he threw in there because they're the rivals, but
we're coming for you, Purdue. Purdue's like, leave me alone. What I do? I'm just Purdue over here.
Well, that's reading the room. At the time, he knew Purdue basketball was number 1 in the nation.
Yeah.
You know, it's an Indiana basketball game. So Signetti needs to do some stand up, but look, they haven't trailed this year. They have never been down. This is the game they're down because here's why. Here's why. Curtis Rourke, their quarterback's questionable. He had the surgery. Taven Jackson, look, they got the win last week, and that's all you can ask out of a backup. But if you dig into that a little bit, you're going to see they got outgained by Washington. They only put up, I think, 200 and some yards of offense. I don't know if they're going to go with Rourke, and if they do, where is he at from a health standpoint? Give me the points. I think Indiana will win the game. And the magic will continue on, but give me the points.
No. You see the good.
No. See, this is
cute.
Well, because then you can say, hey, everyone thought, Michigan State, everyone thought Indiana was unbeatable. They were going to covering machine. I saw it. I was ahead of it. No, this is not the time to fade Indiana. Michigan State's just coming off a dream crusher game. They had a chance in a down year for Michigan. They had a chance.
Oh, it's not a look ahead for Indiana with Michigan on deck? The reigning national champs?
No, come on. What are you talking about? They can't. They're Indiana. They're undefeated. They're keeping the streak alive. Michigan State had a chance to slay the dragon that is Michigan. It was Michigan's down year. This is the time to strike, and they fumbled the bag. Indiana -8. Lock it up.
The Italian American people don't ever look ahead. It's dangerous.
No,
you end up taking one in the back of the head. Signetti would know that.
Yes.
Indiana -8, which by the way, at this point, I'm just going to blindly just put Indiana on the card every week so we can be pro-Italian American. I should have worn my legalized marinara shirt.
Yeah. Coach support Signetti.
Coach would love. He probably makes a mean gravy. 2:30 PM on the West Coast. We're heading to Ames, Iowa, where Texas Tech comes to town to take on Iowa State. I love how upside down the Big 12 prognostications are. And it's not even close. Iowa State laying 14.5 here, -650 on the money line. Texas Tech plus 425, 46.5 is the total. I mean, what was while you're talking about this game, Colby, I'm going to pull up the preseason odds. because I do not think a lot of people had BYU at the top and Utah at the bottom.
Yes, and yourself. I'm curious your thoughts on. I know you finally took Colorado, but your thoughts on Coach Prime? Could you said he was going to be horrible. You said he was going to leave after the year. He's going to get fired.
Did I say that?
I don't know. You might have in the office.
Yeah. See, I think you're embellishing a little bit.
You definitely were out on the Buffs. I know that for sure. Sean, back me up on that.
Oh yeah,
I was on.
He's been fading them every week. It's great.
I was on the win total under. That's for sure. But I see a plan coming together a little faster than I thought, and that's why I changed last week. It's important that you handicap teams in their current state, not what you felt about them before the season.
Can we also talk about
and Colby, Colorado already hit their win total.
Yes,
5.5 over. That was a lock.
Cookie.
That was a lock. I mean, I'm looking at Colby and I are 2 locks.
Wow.
For the Big 12, at least part 1. I had BYU over 4.5 and Colorado over 5.5. Colby had BYU over 4.5, Colorado over 5.5. So off to a great start.
You don't want to mention how Colby and I had Iowa State to win the conference.
I was just getting to that. Okay. You have Iowa State to win the conference at 10-1. I had Colorado to win the conference at 10-1, which is still
very
alive,
much alive,
certainly.
very much alive. And let's talk about Deion's gangster recruiting, because how about using the away team stadiums as his recruiting venues? UCF, he brought like 50 fucking recruits there. Use their stadium as their, and then he's doing it again in Lubbock in 2 weeks here. This guy's. I mean, come on. How can you hate this guy right now?
Coach Prime, baby.
BYU to win the Big 12 was 140-1 before the season, Sean.
Oh, I was on. I mean, I was on them, but at least being a contender this year. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. No, I didn't have that, but the over 4.5 was just come on.
Not to highlight all the negative things, but Colby's Utah to make the college football championship, 60-1.
Well, that was pending. That was pending Cam Rising. Pending Cam Rising.
We're still waiting on Cam Rising.
It was a great price.
I think I said that. I think I even said that. I go, this is all pending Cam Rising playing. So I think I'm out of that, right?
Yeah, we'll have to check. We'll talk to the legal team.
Okay, he's slippery, Kramer. You can't pin him down.
Anyway, so Iowa State, Texas Tech. I don't know. Texas Tech is one of these teams. Whenever I pop them on, watch them for a little bit, they seem to be mixed up in a little bit of a battle. Last week they were in one. Meanwhile, Iowa State, I mean, straight up just good. Watched them very closely for the first time back when we had Iowa against them, and they shattered our dreams. And yeah, this is always a tough road spot, especially for Lubbock. It's like a double-ended tough road spot. So there's got to be like a bus to a plane to another bus. I'm going to take the home team laying the points.
Yeah, no, Iowa State. Anytime I look to fade them, it backfires. I like fading Texas Tech on the road here. Yeah, I think Iowa State. This should be 17. They're a really good team. They're at Ames.
Is that what your model has?
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Texas Tech. Iowa State all day. They smash. Colby, what are you doing?
I mean, look, 14 points with the Matt Campbell team is insane. You know what I mean? It's just that's like 5 touchdowns. I get it. They're undefeated. They're off a bye week. I can't lay 14 points against a team that won the last time they came to Ames, 14-10.
Oh, no.
And just historically, Iowa State plays every game in the Big 12 by like 3 points, 6 points, 7 points, 8 points. 14 points is gigantic. I gotta take Texas Tech in the points.
Ryan, you were joking talking about my model, but I have my model right here from Rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And they also, my model in Rhythm, my model predicts Iowa State winning by 16 here.
All right, let's go.
Rhythm AI
let's go.
has them covering the 14 at a 65.1% chance. So sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Get your own model going. Get your free 7-day trial. NFL props, college football, NBA. Right, the product is live for the NBA. They got you just covered all around. And college hoops, baby. Let's go. 6 days until their college basketball product is launched. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. I'm on Iowa State. Colby, I think Texas Tech 14.5, a little crazy.
Let's not forget, this is a Texas Tech team that took overtime to beat Abilene Christian. Sean.
Yeah. No,
they were facing a quarterback named Maverick MacGyver. So I mean,
Colby failed to bring that critical point up. I wanted to make sure the audience had it in their back pocket. All right. 2 more games to go. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Clemson, South Carolina, where Clemson hosts Louisville. Louisville catching 10.5 points, 3-1 on the money line. 61.5 is the total. Clemson not using the portal. It feels like it's have things come around and Dabo's now winning again. Colby.
Well, I mean the teams that don't use, I mean, I guess with the exception of Navy getting destroyed by Notre Dame, but the teams that don't use the portal are looking pretty good. You just took Iowa State a second ago. I mean, Dabo's got this thing rolling a little bit. We'll see. I mean, Louisville has not been as good as I thought they would be this year. They did somehow find a way to win that game in Chestnut Hill last week, which was a gutsy win. I still think they're not there yet to go into Death Valley and win this game. I'm going to lay the 10.5 with Clemson, the crowd, everything behind them. I just think, and I do believe that offense is getting better with each given week. So give me Clemson. I'll lay the 10.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they should have probably lost to Boston College. I had that money line, and I mean, yes, Boston as well as the points. Boston College covered the 7 pretty easily, but yeah, I know Louisville hung around with Miami, but that was like a home dog situation. And now on the road, this is a back-to-back road spot for them. Clemson, just so much of a deeper roster. It's a conference game for Clemson. I'm with you, Colby. I like Clemson laying the points here. Kramer, what are you doing?
Also worth I didn't bring this up for the Virginia Tech matchup because it's negative.
Oh, but look ahead to Virginia Tech.
Give me a look ahead spot here for Clemson. Winner stays alive in the ACC. Loser has to go home. Are we worried about that at all, Colby?
I don't believe they're looking ahead.
Okay, then we're laying the points with Clemson.
Yeah,
just checking. Again, I want to make sure the audience has all the information so they can make their own decision. Remember to do your own research. Pittsburgh heads to Dallas, Texas to take on SMU. Who, remember when we were so worried after that BYU game, Colby? Things worked out both ways there.
The quarterback change. Shout out to Rhett Lashley because that was a huge thing. Kevin Jennings is a lot better than Preston Stone, but they looked like shit last week. They got lucky.
I think that's something we're going to see more and more with the transfer portal. You have to be willing to make the switch. Why? I mean, hopefully you have to. I guess there's going to be a lot of teams that don't have to, but if you do have to, you got to be willing to make the switch. SMU laying 7.5 here, minus 290 on the money line. Pittsburgh plus 240, 59.5 is the total. Fitting that we were just looking at the preseason futures, Sean, where we were repeatedly told by Colby that Narduzzi would be out at this point in the season.
Lies. I did not say that.
Yeah, Colby did. He was on the Pittsburgh over. However, it came up multiple times where when we were breaking down other teams' schedules, you go, well, if it goes sideways, then Narduzzi might not be coaching here. I feel like that.
Well, hold on. Part of that logic is they're look. I took the over because the schedule was genius, and he hired a great offensive coordinator, right?
Yes.
But that's why I took the over. But they did have a new athletic director coming, so I knew that and Narduzzi's like a fucking. He's kind of not very. How do I say this? Like him and athletic directors just haven't had. He's kind of, he doesn't play that game. He's just like,
you think he's hit on some ladies at a gas station before?
No, I don't. Maybe. Yeah, well, he went to Youngstown, right?
Chicken on some stick. Chicken on
But
stick.
my point is like he clashes. Like he called out. You know, he doesn't really play the NIL game much, and like he clashes with all that shit. So like, it was very logical to see like this is a guy that isn't really on board with the current times in college football as far as the transfer portal and NIL. But as far as like the team, I think he's actually a great defensive coach. And whenever he has a good offensive coordinator, they've been very good. You go back to Mark Whipple when he had him, and he fired him after they won the ACC championship. So I mean, when he brought in Cade Bell, Kerwin Bell's son from Western Carolina, I knew that offense was going to fly, and that defense would somewhat be respectable with it. They got rated in the portal too defensively because he doesn't really play that game. You know what I mean? Like, but I think you take Pitt here because he's a very good defensive coordinator, man. Like I know he's not their DC, but I'm saying it's his defense they're running, and that's like NFL like, and they really confuse the quarterbacks. That's why they had 3 pick sixes last week, and 5 interceptions. So with every giving week, I think that defense is going to continue to get better. Then you add in to me the offense. That offense will fly, especially against an SMU defense that I don't think is that great. And SMU's RJ Maryland, the son of Russell Maryland, the Dallas Cowboy great, is out for the season. He was a projected first-round draft pick. Give me Pitt, and I think Pitt's live to win this thing.
Yeah, and Pitt kind of cruised in that game against Syracuse. That was on Thursday. You get a couple extra days of rest there, and then SMU. I mean, they had to take Duke into OT. That was like kind of a draining game. I think Pitt giving them 7.5 is too much. I like Pitt here.
Just stumbled
Eat shit, SMU.
Oh wow! You just stumbled into an article on the internet on the Detroit Free Press. It's behind the paywall, so I can't actually read the article. But the headline is: Pat Narduzzi is very Italian. Like, what is that article about?
Dangerously Italian.
Yeah. I mean, my thought initially was that if Pitt loses this game, they're going to cover. This is a big number.
So Pitt plus 7.5 for Kramer.
I was just I had 6 or 7 dogs on the card for me.
Look
wow. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Time for our favorite, everyone's lock, dog, and tease. Kramer, you're on the clock. What do you got?
Did I go first last week? I think you might have gone first last week.
No.
So do we want to keep that mojo up? No.
No, I mean, okay. I can go first if you want to.
No, happy to go first.
All
I
right.
just I know we were touting things to start the show, and sometimes you like to run it back and do the same thing all over again. All right, let's start with the dog. I mean, it's pretty easy to say Pitt, but why not go right back to the Vandy well? I had him with the points last week. This week feels like a winnable game against the trash program in Auburn. Lock number 1. Man, it does seem like Oregon is just it's gonna be like 38 to. It's gonna be like the Georgia Clemson game, 38-3 or 34-3, whatever. Lay the points with Oregon. If Michigan takes me down 2 weeks in a row, it's gonna be very disappointing. Lock number 2. Let's play the no, I won't do weeknight stuff, but if I was going to do weeknight stuff, the Fading Liberty would be smart. I mean, come on. Dream Crusher spot. We highlighted it earlier on the show. Let's do the Manny Diaz revenge spot. Duke plus 20.5. Lock number 2. And for my tease, Indiana laying a point. 2 points. 2. What could possibly go wrong there? We'll do Clemson minus 4.5. And you know what? Let's take that Jacksonville State game up to 8.
Okay.
Weekday games are safe for teaser.
All right.
And if I was going to do a big money line parlay, I would be very interested in putting Duke and Vanderbilt in something there. A little Illuminati conference parlay.
Yeah. So let's see here.
Feel free to copy that.
I like it. I'm gonna go start with Pitt plus 7.5 as lock number 1. Lock number 2. I got a couple options here. I do like that Duke plus 20.5. Obviously, I like Vandy. I'll go Yeah, I'll go Arkansas +7 as my other lock. And for my money line dog, give me Duke plus. Let's see, what are they? 8-1 on the money line. Go big or go home. Duke gets the outright win against Miami. Miami's due for a loss here. For my tease, give me Georgia down to 11. Indiana down to 2, and give me Penn State up to 9.5.
Sean, now I do have to. I'm contractually obligated because we once upon a time said this on the show. If anyone tries to lock up Narduzzi, we do have to just you get one little. Are you sure? No one has locked up Narduzzi this season yet, so this is the first time it's come up.
I'll go to my consigliere, Colby. Is Pittsburgh a crazy lock?
No, because they're my dog.
Okay.
And so you can put Narduzzi in there and Pitt as my dog. My lock is going to be Clemson -10.5. The bonus lock is Georgia -17 against Florida.
Ooh, Colby going big favorites.
It's a great bonus lock.
The tease is Clemson down to -4.5, Vandy up to 12.5, and Georgia down to 11.
Colby, I got a big favorite parlay for you. Georgia, Oregon, Clemson.
I'm not on Oregon, but Georgia, Clemson. What about Georgia, Clemson, and
you're not on that one either.
Georgia, Clemson, and who else do we go with?
Vandy.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that you're breaking the theme, but okay.
Okay. Well, what do you want to put in your parlay, Ryan?
Georgia, Oregon, Clemson.
Georgia, Oregon, Clemson. All right. I'll do
I'm doing Duke Vanderbilt money line parlay.
Okay. Duke Vandy money line parlay. I'm gonna do it's
gonna pay like 25, 30 to 1.
Give me Duke, Pitt, and Arkansas round robin money line parlay.
Well, I'm in on that too.
All right. Colby, you in on that?
I do like that one.
Wait,
with Duke, Arkansas, and Pitt. Yeah, we should throw Vandy in there too.
Why is Vandy not in there?
All right, put Vandy in. Well, because I like doing 3 teams on the round robin, but 4 works.
You don't have to do the 4-way. You can just do 3s and 2s.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's more. It's harder to explain to the person at Circa if you have 4 teams.
Let's just do it all the way.
All right, Duke, Pitt, Arkansas, Vandy, round robin money line. Let's fucking go. Tomorrow night we got Thursday night props. Of course, we will be doing a college basketball tip off episode with Colby. Make sure you check out the College Basketball Experience. They're killing it on YouTube and Spotify. Get on Spotify if you haven't given the College Experience 5 stars on Spotify. Basketball and football. What are you waiting for? If you haven't given Sports Gambling Podcast 5 stars on Spotify, what are you waiting for?
Seriously.
# clean the leans. The more stars you give us, the less leans you hear in gambling content.
I once again, please continue to send me the DMs.
Yeah,
it is very delightful to hear about some pussy giving out leans on their show.
What other podcast has been repping Diego Pavia for 3 years?
Exactly.
It's fair.
We put you on to Diego Pavia. Colby was ahead of market on Diego Pavia. Market's just catching up right now.
I think the mainstream was against him pissing.
Oh yeah,
now they like his scrappiness.
I mean, come on.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast. Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
When someone light skinned pisses on something, he makes them scrappy.
Kramer, let it ride.